I'm Mr. X, and together with my assistant Barry,
well, hi.
We will take you through your journey to become a better chess player. From beginner to expert level, we're here to assist you.
On the menu today, checkmates with the lady and the rook. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. First, let's use that lady to checkmate that king.
Okay, today we will discuss how to mate.
How to mate? Mate, what are you saying?
How to mate. Okay, today we will discuss how to give checkmate.
Checkmate, often shortened to mate, is any game position in chess in which a player's king is in check threatened with capture, and there is no possible escape. Checkmating the opponent wins the game.
As you can see, this king is boxed in the corner and only has 3 squares to go. Can you find a move where you can checkmate in one move? Yes, indeed. If you put the queen here.
No more squares to go to and in check. Checkmate.
Here, it's the same, also in the corner, right? Now the king only has 1 square to go to. So this is important, because you can also give a stalemate. So if you would put your queen here.
What are you doing? This is a draw, stalemate, a position counting as a draw, in which a player is not in check but cannot move except into check.
The king cannot move, and therefore you have to move the king closer. And now provide checkmate in 1.
Checkmate.
And now you see the queen is a bit farther out. Can you get closer? So what I would recommend you here is that the king is already on the 8th row. So what you could do with one move, you could actually create a similar position as we just had. So if you move your queen here and then go closer with your king, now you can checkmate. And actually there's 3 ways to checkmate in 1, because you can go here and here and also here. Let's go here for a change.
What? This is also correct. Did you again go for the cheapchess.com subscription, Mr. X?
What about this one? Also checkmate. And this one. Here the king is already on the 8th row, all the way in the back. Well, there's multiple ways to give checkmate, but there's a checkmate on 1. So here the king actually prevents the other king from going forward. It's similar when there's 3 pawns over here actually, right? Because then the king cannot come forward. This is also a very, very famous mating pattern.
Called a back rank checkmate? A checkmate delivered by a rook or queen along the opponent's back rank. See how the pawns prevent the king from going forward. A checkmate can be given on the back rank of the chessboard.
So if you go here,
we mate the king in 1 move. We win, and I'm the king. Now let's checkmate with the rook. It is more difficult than with the lady. And ladies can be difficult already, believe me.
King cannot come forward. I only can go left and right. So, can we provide checkmate with the rook in 1 move? Yes, on the 8th rank.
Whoa, checkmate.
Here, this is quite a similar position as the previous position. But then the king was here, the black king, and the white king was over here. Now it's not completely mirrored, but somewhat mirrored. And a similar checkmate pattern, right? Back rank on the side. So here, if we would actually provide the check, the king can actually move down. See? Another thing is that we can move the king here, right? Preventing the king from going here and only going here. Okay, so here. And the same as in the previous position, this is the checkmate.
This is me in the mate park, by the way. Woohoo.
So, the king is already on the 8th rank. That's great. Away from the rook, the black rook can actually take the white rook.
The black rook, it's the black king, Mr. X. Wake up.
So what do you need to do? There's 2 options. Or either you play away the rook and then provide the checkmate, or you go here, king goes here, needs to go here, and then you can give checkmate. And that's fastest, right? So, checkmate. Well done. Over here. If we go here, then the king has to move here, and then we can give a checkmate here.
Whoa, checkmate.
But how do we get the king to the edge of the board? Because that's a requirement to give a checkmate. So if we would give a check here, then the king can simply escape here, and we need to try all over again. That's not what we want. And if we would go here, the king goes here. And it escapes this way. So we need to wait. And therefore we have a nice waiting move and we can put the rook here, for example. Still cannot come forward and now needs to move horizontally. So for example, if it would go here, then we can give a check and it needs to go backwards. Then we have accomplished what we wanted. Or if it would go here, we simply follow it. And on the edge of the board it needs to come back. And now it reaches opposition, where we cover these squares and we are to move. So we can give it a check and it needs to come backwards. If we go here, it cannot come here because then it's a checkmate. So it needs to go here. We simply chase it. And here we need to watch out because the king is attacking the rook. We need to move the rook away. When it comes here, we have a waiting move. When it comes here, it's checkmate. So it needs to go here. We chase it until the edge of the board. And then it needs to come back and we give it checkmate. Well done.
I want to mate with 2 rooks, Mr. X. Can we do that now?
Sure, Barry. Let's have a look. So remember, in the previous assignment when we had the king over here, right, we were covering these squares. And actually this rook is doing the same as what the king was doing back then. So, and the king is already on the 8th row, as you can see. And it cannot come forward. Is there another piece where you can provide a checkmate with? Yes, what about this rook? If you move it here, it's checkmate. Well done. Like before with the rook and king checkmate, we said the position was somewhat mirrored. Here is exactly the same. But now we have the rook here instead of the king over here. And like in our previous assignment, the king cannot come forward, so this will be a checkmate. Well spotted. Now here I want to teach you something. It's called the laddering technique.
Ladder mate. To major pieces of rooks and or queen work together to push the enemy king to one side of the board and checkmate. I'm a huge fan of these ladders. Wohoo wohoo.
As you can see, the king is still on the 7th row and needs to go back one more row in order to give checkmate. The rooks can work together in a beautiful way and we call it a ladder. The rook can go here and the other rook can go here. So basically what they do is they take one row at a time, like climbing a ladder. So that's what we're gonna do. Give a checkmate.
Give a checkmate. It's just a check. Mr. X, how early is it?
The king needs to go back. And if the king were standing here, covering these squares, now is this rook. King cannot come forward. Therefore, we can take another step on the ladder and give a checkmate. This is another assignment with the laddering technique, but here we need to watch out, right? Because if you would go check and checkmate, taking one step on the ladder and a second step on the ladder, then I have a feeling you're gonna lose. But let's try it out. Ooh, this is wrong. See, we forgot that there's a bishop over here covering the square. So, this is not the right move. But, can we think of another move, which is winning? So what about this move? Yeah, and then take the second step on the ladder. There we go, checkmate. Okay, here the queen is threatening this pawn. And this rook as well. Meaning that black is threatening a checkmate. So, we have to come up with really good moves in order to win. Do you see the ladder technique here as well? Well, we can take a first move with the ladder, right? But then the black king goes here. And we cannot take the second step on the ladder. Because these pawns are defending the king. So, what should we do instead? Okay, let's first take the first step on the ladder. King goes back. And the king cannot come forward. Right? It's like the white king is standing here, preventing this king from going forward from the first assignments. So, can we give a checkmate with this rook? Because if we would use this rook, the king can simply take it, right? So, what about this rook?
And what if we team up the lady with the rook, Mr. X?
Now, let's try to checkmate the white king. Opposite colors, and instead of 2 rooks, we have a rook and a queen. Let's see if we can also use the laddering technique in this situation. The rook covers this row and the queen this row. And we can easily push back the white king by going here. Now, and different than with the rooks, you can actually give a checkmate here. Because if it would be a rook, then this rook would not have been covered. Now it is, because it's a queen, and it's a checkmate. Well done. Okay, here the rook is a bit further out and is not connected with the queen right away. But this is still a laddering technique, right? If we would move the rook here, it's check. The king goes here, and here we need to watch out, because if we use the laddering technique, we would actually give away our queen, right? Check takes. It's still one position, because you have a rook against a king, and we know that this is one, but we don't have to give away our queen, right? So let's first give a check here. The king goes here. We give a check, and we finish our ladder. Great. And if the king goes here, no ladder for us today, but as if it were that the black king was standing here, covering this square and this square and this square, we can give a checkmate. Great. We won. So here we need to put a bit more effort, because the king is in the middle of the board, right? In the center of the board. So no ladder for us yet. But can we set up a ladder? Well, perhaps it's not the fastest way, but in very fast chess called bullet chess, when you don't have a lot of time, it's easy to set up the ladder technique. So you move to queen here, and you go here, ladder, ladder, ladder. See? That's a beautiful ladder. Great, well done. And we won. Now this one. Do you see a way where you can actually stalemate the king? Yes, this is stalemate, right?
Draw. Fail.
Because the king cannot move anywhere, and it's not in check. So this would be the wrong move. Instead, can we set up a ladder? Check. And this would not be the right move, because the king can simply take, but we have a diagonal ladder.
A diagonal ladder. What does that even mean? Don't do that to me, Mr. X.
We can give a checkmate here. Great. By the way, did you also see another way to checkmate? Yes, very well. Well done.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. We're out of here. Bye.